I'm here at the conference centre talking to Steve Elliott from Blackberry Productions. Steve has just completed a QE2 masterclass. Steve, can you tell me a little bit more about your session, please?
Sure, Jill, yeah. I was asked about 6 weeks ago to do this session on behalf of the QE2 Conference Centre on my top 20 tips for attracting delegates to attend your event. And I have to say I said yes way too readily without having really thought about what the subject really was about. But once I had given it a really good think, I got down to thinking it's all about reputation. It's about building the reputation of your event. And I've developed a model that's a 5-phase, 4-step model, so 20 points in all, that combine to contribute to an organiser being able to generate more interest and therefore attract more delegates to attend their event.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. Tell me, where do you start? Where does an organiser start in this 5-step process?
Well, the start for me was researching the marketplace, finding out what's out there. I've worked with many clients on many events where you end up finding there's something conflicting with your event that's competing for the same audience. So it's about researching what's out there, understanding where, when and what your event's going to be, and making sure that it's got some unique space in the marketplace and that nobody's competing for your audience.
So a little bit of soul searching then, really.
Soul searching, a little bit of market research, yeah.
And then after you've done that, where do you go from there?
My second point, and I bore everybody with this, is the importance of objectives. The importance of not just having a name and a purpose of the event, but 3 very crystal clear objectives by which you will measure the success of the event.
And how does a company come up with those objectives?
We use the 3 whys technique. So if you tell me what your objective is, I'll ask you why. And based on the answer to your question, I'll ask you why again. And then you'll give me another answer and I'll ask you why again. And for some clients that can be quite irritating or quite frustrating. But really getting to the bottom of the real purpose of the event, for me, is the foundation of good planning.
So then where do you go from there? Once you've actually planned that event, then what are the next steps with getting more delegates there?
Well, my second phase is developing the content of the event programme and sort of widely communicating and involving other people in the development of the content. Phase 3 is the marketing of the event, going out to the market as early as possible and telling people what it's about. Phase 4 is the delivery of the event on the day, and then the final phase 5 is about the measurement process of understanding to what extent you've delivered your objectives and what your reputation is following the end of the event, what people are saying about the event, in other words.
So that's where ROI comes into it.
ROI absolutely comes in, yeah.
And how do you measure the ROI of your events, for example?
Well, I think what I said to the people who attended the seminar was that there are a number of different ways of measuring the impact that your event has had on the audience. One is the simple tick box sheet on the table or on the chair at the end of the event, which is what I refer to as reactive evaluation. Then there's the communication that goes out 24 hours or within a couple of days of the event, which is a reflective evaluation. So people have had a chance to think about it, have had a chance to talk about the event, and maybe are thinking a bit more deeply about how the impact that the event's had on them. And then there's 3-month, 6-month, 12-month follow-ups to understand whether there's been any change in attitude and behaviour that's resulting in improved performance as a result of the event. So there's different layers of ROI, but those are the sort of the basic levels.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me today. Thanks, Steve.
You're very welcome.